What's up, guys? Santiago here with Rogue Vehicle Company. The Odyssey 170 stands behind me. This is the first Odyssey 170 production van to leave our facility. We are so stoked. They've got a brilliant exterior. It is so beautiful. The team knocked it out of the park on this one. I'm super excited. Let's dive into the exterior and we're gonna let Lucas do an interior review. As usual, we're gonna start on the front end of this guy. Now, starting at the bottom, you'll see we have a CA-tuned front bumper, Warren 12K synthetic winch, Agency 6 shackle, Baja LP9 ambers right here, lots of light. You'll notice as well, we've got this gorgeous matte black exterior wrap. Really got a lot of love on the matte black stuff. We've been doing a lot of satin PPFs here in the shop lately. Something about that matte black just really does it for me. Up top, we've got our classic LP6 array. We've got 4 clear LP6s in a combo beam pattern. We've got 2 amber LP6s on either side, also in a combo beam pattern. You've got the low beams all on one circuit. You got the high beams on 2 separate circuits. Gets you a lot of light. At the very top, you can almost see it. We've got a Furion front-facing camera. So this actually has a 4 camera system from Furion. You've got a front camera, a rear camera, 2 side cameras giving you 2 70-degree angles. Really good viewing angle on these. These are going to go to a screen that we have plumbed inside of the bed zone, which is going to give you really good optics on what's happening outside of the van. The Furion cameras are really nice for night vision. They also do good daytime stuff, good motion cameras as well. You can use them while you're driving. It's an all-around very nice system. Now, up top on the driver's side, you can see that we've got a large 128-liter Roam box. That's on the detachable mount system that goes into the Rugged Design Concepts roof rack. And on the A-pillar of the driver's side, we have a GMRS antenna as well as a radar scanning antenna. So we've got 2 different antennas on one mount, which works really well. And that does it for the front end. Down here, talking about the running assembly, we've got the Toyo AT3s. This is probably one of my favorite all-terrain tires. 37, 12.5, R17, Black Rhino Arsenals. We've got the X-Bull fender flares here, which we use to do all of the clearance cutting to make 37s fit. Guys, I've been having a lot of conversations with people about 37s on vans. I will tell you this, if you want to do it, it is not as simple as getting out an air saw and making things work. It is pretty complicated. There are a lot of things on the running assembly that you have to adjust to get right. There is a special sauce, there's a special recipe to making this work. Now we've got the Van Compass 6.3 kit. This is my favorite way for getting these things lifted and leveled, making them high off the ground, clearancing for our 37s, works really well. We've got the satin black painted interior fender wall. We like to delete the plastics on the 37s to give ourselves max clearance, which is why you can see some of the cabling and stuff inside of here on the lower frame mount. And that's going to do it for the wheels and tires. Down low, we've got the Owl Vans full side steps, really nice side step from Owl. You can see we've got the Van Windows Direct integrated shade windows. That's going to be here, here, and in the rear. We also made a custom set of matching interior shades so that every single window on this vehicle, including the skylight, has its own retractable shade. Also has a combination bug screen. I think that adds a level of elegance to these builds, makes them look really complete and finished. Up top, I've got a Fiamma awning, electric. I've got my Baja Designs S2 lights. They're on either side of the awning. This is going to be my camping light. Also going to be kind of like a task light. We get them in a task lighting beam. And then behind me, you can see I've got one of my camp lights. It's actually on right now. We have a camp light on the driver and on the passenger side. This is just giving us a little bit of a warmer light for if you're just trying to hang out and be mellow, maybe take your awning out, sit below it, camp outside, cook outside, do whatever you want to do. The Baja Designs S2s are really good for illuminating the area, but sometimes maybe you don't want quite as much light, so we added in another lighting circuit. Let's head over to the rear end. Down low, I've got a matching CA-tuned rear bumper. We've got the factory hitch over there. We've got the flush-mounted clear spot pattern S2s from Baja Designs down here in the bumper. We've got a Owl Vans Monster Box, B2 carrier. We've got a single window, so you might be asking yourself, why is there only one window on the rear end? We wanted to do, and this is again a custom van, so the customer requested this. We actually wanted to get some kind of screen in the rear bench area so that our customer can watch TV, work remotely, stream, cast, do all that good stuff. Rather than putting it in the flare where we've done in other builds, what we actually did was we made a detachable RV style locking mount monitor that goes inside of the rear driver door. You can pull a cord, it'll swivel out. When the door is open, you can have it facing the exterior, so you can kind of like have almost like a pregame or parking lot setup, or you're hanging out with your friends, or you're out at the beach and you want to put on the game or whatever you want to do. Really good workflow there. We've got our murdered out Rogue emblem back here on the rear door, which is clearing our massive 37 on an Owl Van spare tire carrier. Up top, you can see my rear-facing Furion camera with the big 270-degree lens. And then we've got our Baja Designs S2s illuminating the rear. Shore ports, I've got shore water connection, I've got my tank fill, and this is a big boy EcoFlow 15 kW system with the large 50 amp distribution hub, which is why we've got this Furion 50 amp connection here. Going to give you all the power that you need, a lot of short charging power from a 50 amp connection. I've got my deep extended flares from Flare Space. These are the wide style, the newer style that they came out with. Up top, I've got my MK2 Max Tracks on the magnetic mounts from Owl Vans. I've got my Rugged Design Concepts side ladder in the forward wheel well position. My Owl steps, of course. Over here, I've got my camp light. You can see the side of the roam box that's on the top. You can see the side-facing 270-degree camera from our camera system from Furion. And that basically wraps up the exterior, guys. Why don't we hand it over to Lucas, who can give us a walkthrough on the inside and show us all the cool stuff that we have going on there.
All right, so we've made it to the back of the Odyssey. This is the lounge area. We have 2 bench seats down here and the bed lift just above us. And this is where you're going to be spending most of your time. We'll be having a table back here that swivels around. And there's plenty of seating for 4 on each bench. So you could load this up and have some fun back here. One of the cool things that our client decided to do custom for this Odyssey is add this TV screen. And whether the bed is up or down, this works. And then you pull on this little band right here, and then the TV can actually come out and swivel over. So if you're on this bench and you have the table right in front of you, you can hook this up and use it as a monitor, which is pretty cool. And that just clicks right in there. And that was just a custom option that he opted for instead of having a window there. And then on the other side here, you can see we do have a window. We have some exterior mods in the way, but you can click that open one click and get some good airflow and not have to worry about someone breaking in. Another cool thing with the Odyssey, they decided to do 2 lagoon mounts, so you can actually mount 2 mini tables, connect it as one big one, or move them out of the way. And then we have the flares on either side. This pushes out the actual van width so that you can sleep side to side when the bed comes all the way down. We added these really cool blackout shades and bug net, and you can do like half black, half bug net, or just open these up. And then this is an awning style window. So you twist this knob and the window actually pitches out like an awning instead of sliding. In the lounge area, we have plenty of options for charging. We have 4 USB-Cs, 4 USBs, and a 120 volt outlet here as well. And then when you're sleeping or just hanging out back here, you just plug it in, drop your phone in this little cubby, get it out of the way, and that's really convenient. The material we used on the wall was Roman clay, and that's all this beige stuff that you see. So this is a lime paint hybrid, and it creates this really cool effect. It looks like there's some dimension to it. And what's cool about this particular Odyssey is that we took the color scheme from the Odyssey Light, just the walls, and we tossed it into the Odyssey. So we kept the cushions, the laminate color, the original Odyssey, but then we took the Odyssey Light beige walls, and that's what makes this a little more light and vibrant inside. One upgrade that I'm actually impressed with is this Molly panel that gets added to the door panel. And this was obviously a custom element that he wanted, but there's tons of options for mounting on these rear doors, even up here, just mounting any like small gear that you may want in a pinch if you're going to open the rear doors. So we did step up the floor in the rear, and there's a full gear tray under this that slides all the way out the back. You can put tons of stuff in there. And then we have a little mini one in the front here that's just push to open. The rear one has a 500-pound drawer slide, so you could just load that up with any gear that you could think of. One of the many conveniences with the Odyssey is the fact that the bed is stowed up here, so you don't have to spend too much time making it. You just hit a button, Bed comes all the way down, sits between the backrests, and that's it. You're ready for bed. So let's show you. This is the bed lift all the way down, and as you can see, we perfectly aligned them with the backrests of the lounge area, and then we have another cushion that goes into the bump outs. So you're actually sleeping side to side on this one instead of lengthwise. And that just allows us to compress the whole build, not take up so much space with the bed, and get some more counter space, which is really cool. Right above the bed, we do have a skylight, and then there's a really cool blackout awning that you just pull that across, and then you have a blackout shade. If you open this skylight up even just a little bit and turn the vent fan on, you can actually pull air across from you on like a warm night, and that's a really nice breeze and keeps you cool at night. Right here we have a 15-inch by 15-inch sink with a Moen faucet, and then we actually have on the cold line here, we have filtered water. So if you just turn on the cold line, let it run for a second, you're actually getting filtered water out of that. And then up here we have the paper towel holder. Below that we have our controller for our Rixon's hydronic heating. So this is a whole interface that covers all the heating in this van. Below we have the cruise and comfort air conditioning controller. And then for cooking, you have two options. Obviously we have the dual burning induction cooktop. But we also have this Furrion RV certified microwave oven. So obviously it doesn't look as advanced as like the KitchenAid oven that I did in mine, but we're doing everything to RV spec here, and this is actually one of the nicer ones that you can put in an RV. We have some extra storage to the right of that. You can just put non-perishables up here, which is nice. And then we have some extra USB-C and USB outlets as well as 120. Below the sink, we do have a lot of extra storage. This is really nice to just toss like cleaning supplies in there. We even have a little drawer right here. And then this is where your trash can will be. So we have a fully integrated like cage that's going to hold your trash can that just slides in and out really easily. Just across from the sink, we're on the passenger side now. You can see we have a dual burning Impava induction cooktop, so you can run two burners right here. And then we have this little window right here, right above the stove, so that when you're cooking, you can turn on the vent fan and pull all that steam out. And then we have this little awning, blackout shade right there for that guy. And then these countertops are paper stone is what it's called. And this is a super durable, super sleek looking finish. I just absolutely love it. You can round the corners like this, sand the edges, get it really smooth. It's just like a one-stop shop to get a really clean, minimal looking countertop. Below the induction, we have a huge custom fridge requested by this client. You can run them both as fridges, you can run them both as freezers. Right now we have top one fridge, bottom one freezer, but this thing is absolutely huge. Like for a van, you're getting so much out of this thing. I believe it's a Vitrafrigo. Next to the fridge, we have 4 drawers. And the cool part about these drawers is they're obviously ranging in size, small on the top, big on the bottom. They're soft close. And then on the screen over here, you just touch mag lock and it locks all these drawers as well as the drawers on the closet. So you come over here, you hit mag lock, and now all these are locked. 150 pounds. I'd pull the handle off before the drawer came open. Up here we have 2 upper cabinets. This is just for more non-perishables, anything you want to store up here, water bottles, coffee cups, stuff like that. And then we have also access to all your exterior lighting, the same as the front. This just gives you the same access and function just in the rear if you don't want to travel up to the front. We have some more 120 outlets, USB-Cs, USBs. There's no shortage of charging in this van. And then right here, we have my little angled pantry that I've done. And this just fits like canned goods. You can put silverware up here, just knives, anything like that. We've moved back to the driver's side to show you the closet. This was one of my favorite projects in my original Odyssey, and they did a really good job in this one as well. Right here, we have 2 doors that open up, and this is where you'll hang all of your clothes. And then on the left side, in my original, I had like wine, cups, bowls, plates, everything to make a coffee below. But everyone seems to be customizing this space to their liking. And in this case, we have a really nice espresso machine, and this just slides all the way out. This is crazy. You have your coffee beans up here, put your little cup here, and you got espresso on the go. And then just anything else you want to store up there, extra storage. Again, we have 4 more drawers, and these are all mag locked as well, and a really big drawer on the bottom. So you can put pots and pans, stuff down there. Right here is the interface for EcoFlow. This just gives you access to all your electronics. We have light switches here. These just turn on and off all the lights. This is for your bed lift. You can lock access to it and pull the key if you don't want a kid messing around with your bed lift. And then of course we have the awning switch here as well. So this is where you'll open and close your awning. The light switches that we use are really cool. We even added them in specific locations. So like if every light was off, you can just turn on like one zone, which is really nice. If you're at nighttime and you don't want like a bunch of lights in your face, we even added it over here as well. So like we got a light switch right here. It's just really nice. Like if you wake up and you want to wash your hands or something, just turn on this guy. Just like in my original Odyssey, we have the LEDs lining up on the ceiling down this vertical slat wall. And in mine, I had 3 different cubbies that were pushed to open. But one thing I actually really like that we did in this model is a single door. So this opens all the way up, and then it has motion lights. And then you get 4 levels of shelves right here just to store anything. You can put cleaning supplies in here, champagne, wine, anything you like. Just above that, we have the port for the air conditioning. So our air conditioning is stowed completely in the front chassis under the passenger seat in the headliner. And then we ported it through the top of the garage out of the way and had it at its highest point over here, which is perfect and cools down the whole van. One of the biggest influences for the Odyssey design has been this shower. And this is the same shower in the Odyssey Light as well, just a little bit more compressed. But this is a full 3 foot by 3 foot prism angle shower. And you can walk through here and then actually pass completely through to the front of the van. So you have your driver and passenger seat right here, bathroom here, and then we have a Laveo dry flush toilet that goes right in this place. And another cool thing that we're doing in a lot of the Odysseys is actually making the garage a little wider, and the toilet is sliding in and out of the shower. That's an addition, but a lot of people mention that, and we're actually doing that. So on the walls, we have Italian tile, the same green tile I had. And then we have obviously like black on the opposing walls and the ceiling. And then we have the Moen shower head. This releases 1.5 gallons per minute, conserving your water for your showers. And then on this side, we have a niche, and you'll have your shampoo, conditioner, body wash, extra soap down below. And then we have full Nautilus shower doors, just like this one, that close off this area and keep the water contained in this space. We always put the vent fan in the shower so that when the doors are closed and it's steaming in here, you can actually port air through. Also, it's the furthest point of the van from the furthest window, so you get the most draft when you open up the rear windows. Through the shower is where you access the headliner, so you can store window covers in here or any extra bedding. And then of course, we have the front of the cab. You can move the toilet out of the way through between the driver and passenger seat if you want to shower without the toilet in here, which is really cool.
All right, guys, that was the Odyssey 170. So thanks for checking it out. I'm really pumped on all the content that we're putting out with Lucas. We have a lot of amazing builds coming out of the shop right now. If you want to check out the Odyssey Light Tour, you can see it down in the description below. We've got a ton of really good stuff moving your way, so stay tuned and check out more videos. Thanks, guys.